I've even heard just even since yesterday that a lot of people, some people like I just did pointed to the irony of still pushing through this permitless carry legislation right on the heels of this huge, one of the biggest, acts of violence on mass transit that New York has seen for decades, that it feels off key to many of us to see that.
Right.
Some people, however, will still point out that, oh, if only someone on the subway, if only New York wasn't so restrictive in their gun laws, and someone on the subway had a gun, they could have shot the bad guy, because the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. We hear that all the time. So first of all, we understand, we saw the footage. We saw that the subway car that the gunman was in was completely filled with smoke. So first of all, the visibility was very low. So let's say I grew up in New York, right? So I understand these parameters very well, what it feels like in a subway car during rush hour, a closed small space. If someone did have a gun, said, I'm going to take out this bad guy. And they try to shoot this guy, an amateur shooting a gun, and they miss, and they shoot another innocent bystander. Does that guy become a bad guy with a gun, or is that guy a good guy with a gun, right? This language about bad guys and good guys is so incredibly reductive. It's like we don't live in a movie, right?
Yeah.
We talk about gun safety. The majority of gun violence takes place of people, death by suicide, right? And the most successful way to die by suicide is to use a firearm, because it's so incredibly lethal and so incredibly effective in that task. Are people who die by suicide good guys or bad guys? Right. Children who find unsecured guns in their parents' cars or at a play date, someone's home, is that a good guy with a gun or a bad guy with a gun? So it's incredibly reductive to talk about gun safety in terms of good guys and bad guys, like that's a clear distinction between people, or that you can easily distinguish people being good or bad. That's just ridiculous.
I agree.
You can connect with us on all major social media platforms at Confused Caucus. Please be sure to like, follow, and share.